It's like no matter what it is, and like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. All right, I'm there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Right.
got you. Because it's nothing like somebody telling you they got you and they never do.
Come on.
But every
Come
time they
on.
got, some kind of thing that they got
Right.
going on, some program, some
Right.
agenda, some this, some that, they
Right.
need you to come and be in purple and bring your billfold. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's like, it's
Yes.
never been like that.
Right.
So I appreciate the authenticness of you, for praying for me even when I couldn't pray for myself.
Amen.
Man, because I was messed up.
Yes.
Even though I may not have been on drugs or an alcoholic, but I was so angry,
Yeah.
so hurt, so let down and mishandled.
Come on.
And you never, never, ever, ever can I say in my experience
Right.
with you, I've ever felt you mishandled me, and I thank you for that,
You're welcome.
because it's important, to be wise when
Yes.
you are fishing for God,
Come on.
that you know what bait to throw out,
Right.
and
Right.
like you talked about, everybody needs to be loved, and that's
Right.
all I ever wanted was to be loved.
Me too.
I never asked for
Yeah.
$1 million.
Mhm.
I didn't ask for a shiny gold chain or a
Mhm.
tooth.
Right.
I just want to be loved.
Right.
And so I thank you for being that.
You're so
For
welcome.
always being that. For me, for for others,
Right.
even praying for my kids.
Amen.
Um, just so many things that you've done. I hear and I've known your story that you've been homeless before. How long were you homeless?
I think it was a few years
Yeah.
with my son. Yeah. Um, I became homeless. So my mom was a Jehovah Witness.
Okay.
And so it was my son's, he was gonna turn 1 years old.
Okay.
And I lived with my mom at the time. And so I wanted to go and find his father
Okay.
so that I could let him know, okay, we got a cake, one.
Yeah.
And so I went to look for him. And as I was walking, there was a person that said, "Hey, I know where he's at. Come over here. Let's go to shortcut. I'm going that way too." I said, "Okay." So we were walking, and he hopped the fence, and I'm like, "Okay, is he over here?" He's like, "No, it's a shortcut." So I said, "All right." So I hopped the fence, but when I got ready to jump down on the other side of the fence, he knocked me out. So when he knocked me out, he drugged me behind a backstop. And when he drugged me behind the backstop, and this person was off Sherm because I could smell it.
Okay.
And he was probably like 6'2",
Mm-hmm.
really big guy.
Yeah.
And so then when he drugged me behind the backstop, when I came to, all my clothes was off. And he was just punching me and punching me and punching me. And I don't know if you know, but like Sherm, when you smoke, it makes you feel like He-Man. So
Mm.
he literally tore a board off the backstop and was just hit me
Whoa.
with the board in my face, in my head, in my back, everywhere. And it was a lot. And so it was just going on for a minute or whatever, and he was taking his clothes off and trying to rape me and this and that. And
Mm-hmm.
so um he began to choke me. He jumped
Okay.
on top of me and he started choking me. And you know how people say, I seen the light?
Mm-hmm.
There really is a light.
Okay.
I felt like I was dying.
Okay.
And I can't even explain it. It was like the brightest light of lights.
Okay.
And I remember saying, I didn't even know the Lord. And I remember saying, if you real,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see my son grow up.
Yeah.
And when I came to, I kind of bit his privacy or
Yeah.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he went down, and I got up and I began to run.
Okay.
And let me tell you how real God is. When he said he'll rain on the just as well as the unjust,
Mm-hmm.
it happened just like that.
Yeah.
When I was running, he was running behind me to catch me.
Yeah.
And I was running with no clothes on and I was just running. When I looked back, he was froze in
Wow.
midair like this,
Yeah.
froze
Right.
like a statue.
Yeah.
And I kept running.
Yeah.
I ran down to the sidewalk. I seen a trash bag that
Mm-hmm.
had leaves in it. I shook the leaves out and put it on me.
Yeah.
I went and knocked on somebody's door.
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up calling the police, all of that. They took me back over to the site, and he just left one shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And so they ended up taking me home.
Okay.
And so when I got to my mom's house, I was like the elephant woman. I couldn't even see.
Oh my God.
And I had like almost a hunchback, like a big old
Oh.
knot. Like I was messed up.
Yeah.
So the police wouldn't go tell my mom, like this is what happened to your daughter, blah, blah, blah. She didn't get up. So I laid on the sofa, and the
She
next
didn't get up to
morning,
see you?
no. So I laid on the sofa. We're talking about love. So I laid on the sofa, and the next morning, I couldn't see, and I was gonna get up and get my son. He wasn't up yet. It was like 6 in the morning, and I can hear her going out, and they call it field service when they go stand out to try to witness to people.
But you
So
can't even witness to your daughter in the
right,
same house.
right.
Okay.
So she goes out to field service, and it's just me and my son there. He's still asleep, and so she goes out. Well, a couple of hours later, there was like maybe two or three guys with suits, and I remember one of the guys because he used to come over and they used to talk and witness to her and stuff. But they came back with a U-Haul, and they came back with her key, opened the door with a U-Haul with boxes, and packed out her whole house. I'm like, what is going on? They were like, oh, well, your mom is leaving. Like, you had a child out of wedlock. She can no longer be around you.
Oh wow.
And so, yeah, so the house is empty.
No.
And so I was like, where's my mom?
Yeah.
Like,
How old were you?
I think I was like 18, 19.
Wow.
So, so yeah, so here I am. Like, what do I do?
So she didn't say anything when she left.
Mm-mm. No,
Wow.
no. Um, so then after that, one of my friends, her mom was going to prison. So she said, well, you can have my car.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay. So that's how I lived in the car with my son. And I used to
Wow.
put like a little sheet so the sun won't be on my son's face,
Yeah.
and um,
Where
just
was his
stealing and
dad?
trying to survive. Well, that was his stepfather. His father originally is in Michigan.
Okay.
But yeah, we survived. That's what it was. So I
Yeah.
just had to do what I had to do.
Yeah. So
So
was there a community that you were around, or at that time was there no like um homeless communities?
no,
No. Okay.
no.
Because like now, like there could be a line full of cars and buses or campers,
Right, right.
in their community, and they
Mhm.
look out for each other.
Mhm.
But way back then, it may not be, and so you're
Mhm.
kind of just fending for
Yeah, you're
yourself.
just fending for yourself,
Yeah.
um, with your son in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I ran into my sister in the store. I was like, "Where you guys live at?"
She went with your mom.
She was younger, so yeah.
Okay.
So first she didn't want to tell me because she didn't know.
She didn't want to get in
Yeah,
trouble with your mom.
but she eventually told me, and then she started letting me come over when my mom would leave to
Mm-hmm.
take showers and eat
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But eventually, the Lord made a way for me,
Of course, because you're
to
here.
get my own place,
Yeah.
and I graduated with my son in the back of the
Yes.
classroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tough. So I
Okay.
know what it is to be homeless.
Right. And
Not
that's
only with myself, but with a child. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's one reason that you do as much as you do for the homeless
Yeah,
is because you understand
yeah,
what it's like to be out there and not just
yeah.
because it's a difference when you're only out there for a week or two
Mhm,
weeks.
mhm,
But when you're out there for a substantial amount of time,
mhm,
it can get really real.
mhm. It gets real, real fast,
Yeah. The
especially with
weather,
nightfall.
yeah, the weather, the
Mhm,
environment that you're in, the
mhm,
the neighborhood,
mhm.
all of those things matter.
Right.
So did you even know the man who attacked you?
Yeah, I did.
You didn't know him? Okay.
I
Was
went
he
to
ever?
school with him.
Oh, wow.
He's homeless now. He has mental illness.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
and he's
he
out there on the streets.
okay?
Mhm,
You've seen him after
mhm,
that?
mhm.
Does he even recognize you?
No,
Oh,
just
wow.
just pray for him.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
he's completely out there.
Yeah, and I think the reason why also too that I like connect with people is because possibly every facet that an individual go through, I already been through that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when I'm out there with the homeless, not only have I been homeless, but I've been on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I started getting high at the age of 9.
Yeah.
I've done every drug imaginable.
Yeah.
The enemy took my mind and didn't even know my own name.
Yeah.
So I can relate to mental illness.
Yeah.
God gave me my mind back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know how to read until I read the Bible.
Yeah.
So the Lord taught me how to read by reading the Bible.
Yeah.
So I was a kleptomaniac. I stole every chance I got.
Was it for survival or just for the high?
Just for the high.
Okay.
Just for the high. Because, just for the high, I was the type of female, when I was out there, I didn't sleep around or nothing like that with guys. Mm-hmm. But I was notorious for stealing, for doing refills, for tail tapping, from going from state to state. You know what I mean?
What's tail tapping?
Tail tapping is back in the day, they used to have a bag that they put the money in, and then they put it still by the cash register.
Okay.
They wouldn't drop it. They didn't have a save for nothing like that. And so I would go get that bag of money.
Okay.
And I did that from state to state.
Mm-hmm.
Refill is when you just get a whole rack of stuff.
Okay.
And your homeboy's outside with the truck. You know what I mean? So you don't go in there stuffing them down or whatever you could, whatever. I've done that before. But I don't got time. So I'm taking racks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to sit everything here and I'm taking racks. And I got some enforcers because we're really leaving. Because we need to get high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was really that type of thing. And then, I used to go around from state to state and, lure in men or whatever, drop some in they drink or whatever, and then rob them.
Yeah.
So I can relate to a lot of different people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I won't go into all of it, but I can relate to a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Putting a girl in a coma that was pregnant with twins. Yeah. And that could have been 3 murders. You know what I'm saying? That I was running from the police from. Yeah. Just violent, extremely violent, stabbing folks, all kind of stuff that I've already been through. Right. You know what I'm saying? When I was out there, I was out there. Right. So when I'm here, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just love hard, because God has brought me from too much to be playing with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way to glory. Yeah. And I'm glad about it. So anybody I can snatch up that can go with me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that is a thing that is so amazing, and what he can do and how he can clean you up. You know what I'm saying? Is that especially when you're hurting. Right. When you don't have that love, that mother love. Right. And your father is not really there because he a rolling stone. Right. And, you have activities and you seeing, people doing this and doing that. And then you're dealing with the spirit of poverty and lack. Poverty and lack will get you in so many places that you don't come out of unless it's the Lord's hand to pull you out. Right. So I most definitely understand that when you're hurting, you most definitely do hurt. And it's I don't really have nothing that I'm living for anyway. Right. So it's what's the point?
What's the point?
If I'm hurting, and then who care who else is hurting? Right. And so to me, that is the biggest thing why God also made you a project of love. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what it is to have lack of love. Right. To not have anybody that you can say, man, I'm so proud of you.